Hi and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. In the spirit of not being able to throw anything out, in this video I'm going to be making a Victorian sports blouse, which you have seen me make like 100 times so far, almost, out of my flannel scraps that I found in my fabric stash, because I went out and bought a bunch of new fabric, but I just couldn't make myself use the new fabric before I have used all of my scraps. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. But the problem is, well, not the problem, but the challenge in making this Victorian sports blouse out of all of these flannel scraps is that there's almost not enough fabric. Like almost. As you can see here with the sleeve, it's almost not fitting the fabric. But I have a trick for that, and I'm going to show that to you in this video. So hang on. First, put on the pattern on the fabric. I'm going to make one yellow sleeve, and I'm going to make one black sleeve, and I'm going to make the body in the blue and red fabric that you saw at the start of the video. All of this is flannel. The only problem is that the black flannel and the yellow flannel isn't the same thickness, so sleeves looks a bit funny because one is sitting nice and proud and one is just kind of hanging off my shoulder. I'm going to make one cuff in black and one cuff in yellow, and the color in black as well. Here are all the pieces. Now I just need to sew them together. As always, remember all your assembly marks and where center front is. And I'm going to be putting in a gathering thread at the top of the sleeve, as I always do, making 2 rows about 1 centimeter in, and then the rows of stitches are like 1/2 centimeter apart. That will give you some nice pleats, if I could talk. So that's what I'm doing. Nice little rows of running stitches. Now I'm going to sew it all together. Now I have to put on the cuffs, but I have to turn them around first, or inside out. So I'm going to be snipping all the corners, as I always do. Here I'm snipping off the corners. This is one cuff, and that is the other cuff, and I'm snipping off the corners before I turn them around. Here I'm making the slit at the wrist where the cuffs are going to go on, and I'm going to put on some binding at the opening, because why not try something new? And I think the pattern piece for this is so complicated that there had to be a better solution. So I'm just putting on some binding, and it kind of turned out okay. Here the cuff is on, as you can see, and when you fold them over each other, there's a nice little, the slit is nice and covered. But that's the thing when you make something like 1,000 times. You keep on improving on it and playing with it and trying different techniques and stuff. And that's one of the things that I love about making stuff, is that you can always improve, make better, and experiment. Put cuffs on. This is the collar. And I had this idea of making a pocket to put on the front, of course, but in the yellow fabric, just to give the shirt some balance in color. Why not make it the perfect size for your mobile phone, so you have somewhere to put it if you don't have pockets in your skirt or in your pants? So that's what I'm doing here. Quick and easy and simple. Nothing to it really. But I'm just folding in the edges, making it nice and square, and then I'm going to give it a little stitch all the way around. As you can see, I did here. And here's the challenge. As you can see here, I'm missing a bit of the sleeve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the seam allowance bigger underneath the arm. And I'm going to match that on each side, so you won't feel the difference when you wear it. The only difference is that I know that the sleeve head or the sleeve is a little bit bigger than it would be otherwise. But that's the only way to make this work, is to make the seam allowance bigger, which means that the armhole is going to be a little bit bigger. But when I do this, then the missing triangle won't be a problem, which is kind of awesome. This is also one of those things you learn by making stuff, or making the same things or the same thing over and over again, is that you can tweak it and make it better and make it different and, you know, cheat a little bit. Always a good thing knowing how to cheat just a little bit when it comes to sewing. But I'm just rounding it out, making it similar or almost identical on each side. Now I'm going to put in the rest of the sleeve, which is not hard at all in a Victorian sport blouse. Here you can see I made just a little bit of a dip underneath the arm on both sleeves. See, like this. So the triangle isn't even a problem anymore. It's like it never happened, and I can use all my scraps, even though the pattern piece doesn't fit 100%. Here I'm finding center front, and I'm not going to be putting buttons all the way down. I'm only going to be putting buttons, one button at the top, so it's a bit like an anorak shirt. So it's basically a Victorian sport blouse, a Victorian anorak sport blouse. Wow, that's complicated. Collar on, sleeves on. Now I have to figure out how long or how far down I want the closure to be on the center front. But first let's see if that pocket, how that works. If it even works. I think it does. Because then it gives the shirt a little more balance, because the yellow is so yellow. Yeah, not too bad looking. And here I'm figuring out how far down I want the opening to be, and making sure that all of the tartan is lining up nicely, because that can make your eye wander and make you see all of the flaws. also going to pin the pocket on, also so it's going to match up with the tartan. You can do this without a dress form, but I just like putting it on a dress form. I'm going to make a little buttonhole. The pocket is on. As you can see, my phone fits right into it. I'm going to trim off a little bit of the bottom before I sew that as well. This being a shirt out of scraps, it turns out okay. But it's almost done. I put in some golden buttons with this little hand on, both on the cuffs and on the collar. But now for the big reveal. Ta-da! Shirt on. I'm sorry for the gum chewing, but I was on a roll. So what do you think? Did it turn out okay? My little scrap shirt. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!